It is that time of year again. Everybody's back in school, and I have a whole new set of Dakota Hersey seniors. I'm wearing my shirt so that way, you know, I'm like #reppin'. No, seriously though, I just think this shirt is so cute. It's like, if you didn't see them, they're for my spokesmodels, but I might do an order to see if other like seniors want them. But if you do, let me know. So if you are new here, my name is Dakota Hersey, and I am a senior portrait photographer in Wilmington, North Carolina. I photograph seniors all over North Carolina and any in the surrounding area. I will come to you. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be great. So today I want to talk about one of the most asked questions that I get pretty much all year round, but especially at this time of year, and that is, what season should I take my senior photos in? And so I get it. You don't know when you want your senior pictures taken. You have a full year to decide. Do you want to do it at the beginning of the year when it's the fall time and everything's really exciting and you're pumped about your senior year? Or do you want to wait until the end of your senior year when it's the springtime, it's closer to graduating, it's all starting to feel really real, and you want to get your cap and gowns and things like that? It's totally up to you of whatever you want, but it does depend on a few things when it comes to picking the season that you take your senior photos in. And that really has to do all with the style that you're looking for. And so that's the style of the types of locations that you want to go to, the style of clothing that you want to wear, and then also just like overall what you need to use the photos for. I'll go through each one of the seasons, kind of explain what I've seen to be the pros and cons about each of them, and then just a couple of other things that you should think about when you're picking a season. And then hopefully you'll walk away knowing exactly what you want to do. We're going to start with summer. I love summer. I used to be a fall girl. I think I'm officially transitioned into a summer girl. It's probably from living at the beach. I know that I usually classify everything after like school starting as fall, but we're going to call like all the way through September summer because we still have all of the summer weather and the summer things. Still a ton of daylight outside. It's still really warm, and you also still very much have your summer tan, which is super important because I cannot make you look tanner in your photos. I need to say it twice. I cannot make you look tanner in your photos. This is really important to a lot of people to have a good skin tone. You will have a good skin tone. It just won't be like golden if you take your pictures in February. If you want to look summery in your photos, this is obviously going to be the best option for you. There's still a lot of greenery out and a lot of flowers are still blooming, so you can still have that like spring summery look. But then there's also fall outfits that are starting to come out in all of the boutiques. So if you want to have a little bit of like a transition in your session from really summery things and then all of your really cute fall outfits, then this is the time to do it. Summer sessions usually start in between 5:30 and 6, and then we shoot all the way until sunset. So they're a little bit later in the day. It's easier to accommodate your school schedules and then also your parents' work schedules if they're going to come with you. So as a recap, the pros for summer sessions are flowers and greenery. It's still a lot of daylight outside. It's going to be warmer weather. You can wear summer and fall clothes. And you still have a tan. Can't forget that one. And then the cons are going to be that it's still potentially going to be really hot outside because, you know, North Carolina, and that it is still really early into your senior year. So if you're kind of hoping to do all of the celebrating at the end, you'll have to be doing your pictures at the beginning. Kind of a con. I don't know. I put it on the list as something to think about. Moving on to fall, which I have kind of categorized as October and November. And this is a super, super popular season for a lot of things. It's just like everybody's favorite time of year. And I can understand because I love a lot of things about fall. I love the colors, I love the temperature change, and also just like all of the excitement that comes along with the season. There are a lot of time changes when it comes to the fall. In October months and before the time change, we'll probably start sessions around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then once that time changes at the beginning of November, everything shifts way forward and we start around like 3 to 4. Like I said, I love the colors of fall. I love when the leaves start to change. If you do want to have that really like fall look with all of the changing colors, we will need to go somewhere where the leaves are actually changing. They don't really change that much in Wilmington, but if you want to go like Raleigh or a little bit more to the west of North Carolina, then you can really get that like super fall, bright, vibrant feel. I know that most of my seniors work with me because they like having a lot of bright colors in their photos. Sometimes fall concerns them because they really want flowers and things like that. But I promise if I have just one tree that has orange leaves or some bright colors around it, then I can make your session still look really bright and colorful, but then also have that really like cozy fall feel. And then also most seniors who choose fall sessions love the fall colors and tones, and that's mainly what their outfits are made up of. And so if that's you, then I highly recommend you doing the fall. I love like a good cozy sweater. They're so stinking cute. And then most of the time it is still warm outside. So if you want to do some like more summery, brighter things, then knock yourself out. We can do both of them. So recapping the pros of fall sessions, there's fall colors and tones. It's still a little bit warmer outside, so you can wear both fall and summer clothing. And we have lots of colors with all of the changing leaves. And then the cons are going to be that it's hurricane season. It sucks, but it happens. There's going to be things. That's kind of in September too, but there's possible rescheduling changes. And then also, this is just a busy time of year for everybody. It's wedding season, football season, hunting season, sports season. I don't know, like lots of things are going on. And so working with schedules can be a little tougher when it comes to like the October, November season. When it comes to winter sessions, which I define as like December through February-ish, these sessions can be really pretty. A lot of people normally aim for like end of February if they're going to do a winter session. But if you love the snow and you're ready to brave the cold, then I will be right there beside you and we can totally make that happen. Of course, we would need to find somewhere where it actually is going to snow, but you know, I mean, I'm totally down for like figuring it out. Any session that is going to be in the winter time is going to start a lot earlier, probably around like 2:30 or 3, just because the sun sets so early in the day. But I do have a lot more weekend availability in the wintertime, so I can make those Saturdays and Sundays work for you and your parents and things like that. So it's a little bit easier than other times during the year. Thankfully, coastal North Carolina is kind of a weird state, and sometimes we have a winter and then sometimes we have those random like 70-degree days in February. I know that I had a couple of those last year for my winter seniors, and that usually works out pretty well for them to wear a little bit more like springy looks and just add some layers on top of it. I know Gray did that for her session and it was super cute. You would have never guessed that her session was in February. And she had her photos back in time to use them for all of the things that she was going to do for announcements and things like that. So recapping the pros for winter are that I have more weekend availability if that's something that's really important to you. You can wear some spring outfits and fall outfits if you just want to put layers on top of the spring ones. There's also gorgeous sunsets. The wintertime, for some reason, like a winter sunset sky is just absolutely gorgeous. And then you also will get your photos back with plenty of time to get them in the yearbook and do all of your announcements and things like that. Cons are going to be that you're probably not going to be nearly as tan as you were in the fall, and that it's likely going to be cold outside. So we're going to have a plan for like red runny noses, but most of the time we make this work. And if you want something to like look cozy and cool, then this is going to be the session time for you. And then the last season of senior year is spring, which I categorize as March through June. This is actually my busiest, I'm gonna say it's my busiest season of the year. It's probably super busy for you with like prom and exams and graduating and college applications and all of the things that come along with that. But it's also really fun because this is the time of year that like everything starts to feel really real. I love spring sessions because usually if we can get a good day, the weather's going to be really awesome. If the weather's not awesome, it's because it's probably raining because it rains so much in the spring. And then almost even worse than rain is wind. And so it's super, super windy like March through April. It's something that people just don't think about, but I will not make you do a session if it's going to be really windy outside because I know that you care about your hair even if you say that you don't. I also love spring sessions because there's all kinds of flowers blooming. I love the colors that they bring. Most of my seniors like spring sessions because they like flowers and they also want a lot of color in their photos. But I also want you to keep in mind that the flowers are constantly changing. New ones are blooming each week. They're dying. New ones pop up in their place. So if you have your heart set on a very specific flower, I would just be really careful about scheduling your session around their like blooming date, just because it's really hard to schedule things around nature and like try to find the bush with the flowers that you really want. Unless they're azaleas, because they're going to be all over Wilmington. But I know a lot of people love hydrangeas and things like that. They bloom super late in May, more in kind of like a summer flower. So if you love flowers, you should just want any of the flowers that are popping up that week. Your photos will be different than the girl the next week. So just keep that in mind when it comes to expectations and flowers. Also, most flowers don't start blooming until late April, early May, which is kind of pushing it if you need to have announcements and things pushed out. So just another thing to think about. The sunset time also changes a lot during these months. So you can probably plan to have sessions start somewhere in between 5 and 6. The closer that we get to summer, the later that they're going to be pushed back. So the pros for summer sessions are going to be that the flowers are blooming. We're really close to graduation, so there's a lot of excitement, and we're coming out of winter and moving into that warmer weather, so you have all of your spring clothes and you're excited to be outside. And then the cons are going to be that the weather can be really unpredictable at this time of year. You still don't really have a summer tan, and you also just have like a lot going on. And then I also want to add, when it comes to choosing the season for your senior session, that you're thinking about how you want to use the photos. So if you want photos to be put into the yearbook, you need to make sure that you know what the deadlines are going to be for that, so that way you have time to schedule your session, have me take the photos, edit them, get them back to you. So that way you can turn them in. And then same thing for announcements. If you're planning on ordering senior announcements, usually you can get them pretty quickly, but it does take a lot of time to go through the whole session process, get all of your photos back, order, design, and order, and then send out your senior announcements. So if you don't want to be rushing at the last second, then plan ahead, make sure that you have plenty of time in case something happens. If we need to reschedule, I have rescheduled a senior session like 5 times because of weather. So just making sure that if you are a planner, that you're planning ahead. And if you're not a planner, that you're not going to get stressed out by deadlines. And then I know some people are worried about making sure that they get cap and gown photos. This is something that I know if it's super important to you, then you should probably do them in the spring. Know that I probably won't have as much availability. It'll be harder to get in when it comes to like once everybody gets their cap and gowns. Everybody wants cap and gown photos. Last year I did mini sessions for cap and gowns, so that's likely going to be an option again this year. If you do need something where you really, really need cap and gown photos or sports photos, reach out to me, let me know. We can probably work something out. But I would really focus mainly on your senior photos and what you want those to look like, and let that determine what season you pick. Hopefully this is really helpful. This is mostly the information that I give all of my seniors when they ask me this question. If you're really struggling with it and you're not really sure what you want to do, I'm also happy to help you individually. So you can reach out to me and ask me any questions that you have. And I'm really excited to show you guys some of the summer sessions that I have coming up. If you are a senior in either high school or college, I would love to talk to you. I would love to have you subscribe and like this video, so that way you can get all of the content that I make for you guys planning out your senior year celebrations and making sure that your photos are everything that you want to celebrate this chapter of your life. And I will be posting new videos every Wednesday. All right, bye guys.